We have a win-and-in match for us here to watch. We're gonna have Tim again, who we saw round 1 on black-white control. He is not the win-and-in. His opponent, Cody, is. And Cody is... I actually made a mistake last round saying originally that it was Cody playing on Mardu Vehicles. It wasn't Cody, it was Kyle, but Cody's also playing Mardu Vehicles. So, it's going to be Mardu Vehicles versus Black-White Control here this round. What does Tim have? Tim is main decking the 2 Fumigates, which are pretty good in this matchup. Now, they don't hit the vehicles, obviously, but it hits all the creatures that Cody's going to play. So, we'll have to see what happens here. I'll be back in 1 second. I have to bring my deck list from last round back. So give me 1 second, guys. We'll be right back for you. All right, back again. Vest, I agree with you. An actual vehicle sweeper, I'd be down. I'd be down. All right, I'll bring it back here to the full screen. Players looking at their 7. Cody's going to mulligan. Tim looks to have a decent hand. He's going to keep, I think. 3 kill spells, 4 lands, seems decent. All right, Cody looking at his 6. I think it looks keepable this time. He's got a few lands, some creatures, looks like, so... yeah. Cody keeps. Starts it off with a copy of Thraben Inspector. Prince Akuro, Tim on the right is playing Black-White Control. We also had a Blue-Black Control player in the field. I believe he's still active. I'm not sure. So Tim falls to 19. So does Cody because he's going to go ahead and play out a Veteran Motorist. This is good for Tim because he now has at the ready Fatal Push to deal with this Veteran Motorist. Cody attack for 4. Tim is going to go ahead and push away the Motorist. 1 will get through still. Tim will fall to 18. Not the biggest deal there, but... Cody, main phase 2 here, deciding what he wants to do. Plays a copy of Aether Hub. Still with a clue in play. Heart of Kieran comes down. That's a good one. There it is there. The replacement for Smuggler's Copter. In terms of mana cost and things like that. Tim will land and passes back. Cody not currently able to crew the Heart of Kieran, rather. If he has a Gideon here, he has PNLR. So this will allow him to crew the Heart. Wrong one. There we go. So there is the crew, and we're going to see an attack for 4. Tim does have murder, and we're going to see it here. Actually, we're going to see Anguish Unmaking. So Tim's going to take 4 overall, fall to 14. 3 from the Unmaking and 1 from the 3rd Inspector. Now, the Heart of Kieran is exiled. Not likely to matter too much, but for to be correct, it should be out of play there. Another land and pass for Tim here. Not a lot of action happening for him on his turns. So still with murder in hand. I really would have liked to have seen him murder the Heart of Kieran and hold up and making for Gideon, because he can't murder a Gideon. We're going to have an attack come across here for 4. Tim deciding he's going to go ahead and murder. Probably going to take out the PNLR here. Cody deciding if he wants to maybe pump up his Thopter in response. He chooses not to. Tim will fall to 12. Cody, a 5th land and a pass at the turn, so not a whole lot. He did crack his clue that turn as well. Tim untaps, plays a Plains, and says go again. Looks like he drew another copy of Anguish Unmaking, so he does have the answer now if a Gideon does come down, luckily. Cody with a 6th land here, and it looks like he passed the turn, doesn't want to attack into Shilling Vent. Tim is going to, at end of turn, flash in Archangel Avacyn. That is a 1-of in Tim's deck. Pedal to Demetal. Thank you for following the channel, and we appreciate that. I will send you your discount code for 10% off at top8gaming.com. Welcome to the channel. Thank you. Selfless Spirit comes down for Tim here. That's good, as it is a way if he wants to turn on his own Avacyn, if he needs to. I believe there was an attack for 4 there. So Cody, if I'm not mistaken, is at 15. Cody with another land here. He's drawn a lot of lands. That's definitely not what you want here if you're Cody. Tim's okay with that. Another attack for 4 here. Cody with a Gideon. This is good. And again, if I'm not mistaken, Tim does have the answer to this Gideon in the form of a 2nd copy of Anguish Unmaking. Cody makes a Knight ally token and another land and passes back. That's his 8th land. That's like, you shouldn't be able to keep up with control on lands if you're the aggro deck. So this is a really unfortunate draw for Cody here. We're going to have an end of turn sacrifice Selfless Spirit. This is simply to flip the Archangel Avacyn. Yeah, so on the upkeep, I'll trigger Avacyn, 3 damage, coming across to both Tim and all creatures. So there she is there, Avacyn the Purifier. Looks like Tim just went ahead and did 3 damage to Cody. Instead of going a Gideon here. He's going to turn on his Shilling Vent, attack for 8, and yeah, it's game. So Interesting there, as Tim almost seemed to be more of the aggressive deck than Cody at the end there. Cody just drew all his lands. A little rough there, but yeah. Braden, thank you for following the channel, man. We appreciate that. We will send you your 10% off discount code to top8gaming.com. Welcome to the channel, man. Thank you very much. Okay, so looking at our sideboards here, what do we have? So Cody has Fatal Push, 2 Shock, 2 Authority of the Consoles, 2 Fragmentize, 2 Selfless Spirit, 2 Stasis Snare, a Thalia Heretic Cathar, a Fumigate, a Release the Gremlins, and a Sky Sovereign. So for Cody, I like bringing in the Selfless Spirits because they blank Fumigates and Avacins. That's probably it. For Tim, he has in his sideboard 1 Gifted Aetherborn, 2 Thalia Heretic Cathar, a Fumigate, 4 Transgress the Mind, 2 Gisela the Broken Blade, 2 Kalidas Trader of Get, 1 Archangel Avacyn, 1 Linval the Preserver, and 1 Midnight Oil. So if I'm Tim, I like bringing in my Gifted Aetherborn, probably the Thalias, the Fumigate, the Giselas, the Kalidas, the Archangel, the Linvala. He's got a lot, so I think he's in a pretty decent spot here for sideboarding. Really, it's just going to come down to what's bad in my main deck. What do I want to take out? Looking at that option for what you want to take out, Oath of Liliana seems really sketchy. I don't really like Gonti in this matchup that much. Ob Nixilis I'm not a fan of either. It can kill a creature, but yeah, I think it just has better sideboard cards. So Tim definitely has quite a few options he can decide between for this for these games 2 and potentially 3. But Tim does take game 1, and if I'm not mistaken, he was on the draw there. So that is definitely a good start. Cody, again, you know, you can't really overstate how many lands he drew. At the end of the game, I think he either had more or he was equal with Control's land count. As the aggressive deck, that's never where you want to be. Cody's deck really needs 4, maybe 5 lands to function so you can play 2 spells consistently a turn or bring back Scroungers, those kind of things. It looks like both players have kept their 7, if I'm not mistaken. Cody starts it off with a Concealed Courtyard and a Toolcraft Exemplar. So a stronger start. Assuming he has the artifact to follow it up. He does with a Heart of Kirin, and an attack for 3 will bring Tim to 17. So I mentioned before, if Cody wins this, he is in top 4. Tim, if he wins this, is pretty well positioned to win to get in top 4 as well. So Cody wins, he's in. If Tim wins, both still play for it next round. 2 mana, a Scrap Heap Scrounger here. That's going to let him crew the Heart of Kirin. And here we're going to have an attack for 7. Tim is going to want a Fatal Push. He's got it. Kill the Heart of Kirin. Bring himself down to 14 from that hit from the Exemplar. Still an artifact in play thanks to the Scrounger, of course. So the Exemplar will still get bigger. I believe Tim drew a copy of Gifted Aetherborn. But he's going to go ahead and play out Liliana the Last Hope. This is great, as it lets him kill the Exemplar because it is just a 1/1 still. Only gets bigger during combat on his own turn. So, and Liliana is now out of range of that Scrounger. Now the big play that Cody could have here is to drop a Gideon. Liliana will take 3, fall to 1. Gideon is what Cody needs here. Does he have it? I don't think he does. I think he's thinking far too much for a play as simple as, here's my Gideon. Good luck. That's an unfortunate one in Veteran Motorist, as Liliana can kill that. So it's not going to live. It's just going to get its scry, basically, and then die. So Tim untaps here. Yeah, we're going to have him tick up Liliana, kills off the Veteran Motorist, plays a Forsaken Sanctuary. Tim's in a great spot now. He even has Anguish on making to exile the Scrounger if he wants. That way it doesn't get to come back anymore. Three mana, we have Disintegration. He did play a Thalia here. This is going to let him kill Thalia and kill Liliana. Disintegration is damage. So, yeah, he redirects 3 damage to Liliana, the Last Hope, instead. Then we'll attack Tim for 3. So Tim will fall to 11. And then a pass the turn back, so... Alright, so Tim untaps. Okay, a Swamp. Now, he did have a couple lands in hand left, so... Oh, Liliana comes down. That's not bad. It's going to stem the bleeding here by shrinking down the Scrounger. It does still have 1 power, so it's not useless, but keeps Liliana in check. Tim did follow up with a Gifted Aetherborn, but Cody had Fatal Push to deal with it. Nothing else to do on his turn, however, other than attack for that 1, and Tim gets to untap. Now, there is still a Swamp in his hand that I can see. Liliana's going to tick down, so we're going to go ahead and mill 2 cards, put 1 back in your hand. It's a creature. We're going to choose Thalia, Heretic Cathar, and we're going to put her back into play. This is really good as she does have First Strike, so this does check pretty much every one of Cody's creatures. So Tim back in a really good spot here. Cody looks to have, I saw at least 1 land in hand, a Spire of Industry. 2 lands in hand. That's, again, he's having the same problem he had last game. He's just drawing all his lands, or he's flooding out. So Liliana ticks up, shrinks down the Scrounger. Turn on Chilling Events, attack for 2. Just get a little bit of life gain back. Looks like it's gonna connect. Cody no blocks, because he can't block with the Scrounger, of course. Draws a copy of Pia Nalar. That's good, but the Thopter gets killed by Liliana, of course. Cody will play the Pia Nalar, make a Thopter. They do come into play tapped, of course, thanks to Thalia. I can't imagine that we're going to see an attack here from Cody, which we don't. He passes back. Tim untaps. Looks like he drew a plains for the turn, so nothing exciting in his draw step. But he still has in hand a copy of Anguished Unmaking, which will be great if Cody ever finds an actual threat. Right now, Pia Nalar, Scrappy Scrounger, those aren't threats to worry about. So Liliana is going to attempt to kill the Thopter. Cody will, in response, sacrifice it to declare that Thalia cannot block this turn. No big deal there. Shilling Events turns on. Attacks for 2. Another 2 points. Cody, that evens things up at 15 apiece. So Tim in a great spot here. We could have a win in 2 here to put Tim in a good spot for top 4 contention here. So it looks like Cody drew his own copy of Thalia Heretic Cathar, which looks to be out of the sideboard. That's pretty interesting. I mean, it blanks Avacyn's, but that's about it. But there is the Thalia. Very important part here is Liliana gives -2, -1. So if he ticks up on Cody's Thalia, it will not be able to trade with Tim's. Looks like Tim drew a 3rd copy of Liliana the Last Hope, which looks to be the last copy in his deck. And yeah, indeed he did. So a little awkward there. It does mean if he wants, he is able to tick down the current one he has in play to get back, say, that Gifted Aetherborn. And not really worry about Liliana dying on the crackback because he has a 3rd one to back it up. Tim deciding what he wants to do here. Looks like he's going to go ahead. Tick down Liliana. Yep, I like that. Mills Gisela in a swamp. Get back Gisela. Good choice. So there is the Broken Blade. The 4-mana 4/3 with flying, first strike, and lifelink. And at the beginning of your answer, if you happen to control and own both Gisela and Bruna, you get to flip them over. Tim's not playing any copies of Bruna in his 75, so he's not going for the Brazilla Nightmare plan. However, there is a Thalia in play on Cody's side, so this is a tap Gisela, which is pretty important here. So Cody will be able, if he wants, to kill off this Liliana. It would cost him the Pia Nalar and potentially the Thalia. This looks like Thalia is attacking Liliana here. He drew Stasis Snare for the turn. That's pretty good. That's going to answer the Gisela. Tim with the 3rd copy of Liliana in hand just says, yeah, mine dies, that's fine. He's not really worried about the Liliana dying. Looks like he drew another copy of Shemling Vent. And we're going to have an attack for 7 coming across here. Interesting. Looks like Cody just takes it. So he would fall to 8, and Tim would go to 19 thanks to the lifelink on Gisela. But I have to think that he's going to be using Stasis Snare here. It looks like he might not have taken it. He's just thinking it looks like. Okay. Looks like he's actually going to throw away Pia. I don't know about that. So yeah, here's Stasis Snare. And we're going to take out Gisela, of course. So Tim does have a copy as well in hand of Fumigate. So his idea here could just be to fumigate the board, gain some life, and kind of go back to square one with a couple manlands in play. Cody took 3 from the Thalia, falling to 12. Yeah, we're going to fumigate here. So Tim will gain 4 life. Cody looks to be He's gonna go ahead and sacrifice the Scrounger in response to make his Pia not block this turn. Seems relevant. Yep. Tim's gonna follow that up with a Liliana here, and Cody does get to bring back that Scrounger. This Scrounger is it's brand new, so it is a 3/2. So it will get to hit Liliana for the full 3. So Tim really having basically 1 turn here of shields down, so. That is quite the top deck for Cody. He drew a Gideon. That's probably the best card you could draw in this situation. We're going to go ahead and attack Liliana down to 1 after making a Knight ally. Now, Tim does, if I'm not mistaken, still have a copy of Anguished Unmaking in his hand, so the Gideon's not going to live. However, still a good draw. It's also important, as Tim is able to kill this Gideon, and he's also able to still protect his Liliana if he wants to, because he will still be able to activate Channeling Vents on his defense. Okay, Tim's actually thinking about firing up the vents. He's going to. Interesting. Okay, attack Gideon for 2. If I'm Cody, I mean... Okay, he's going to take it on Gideon. That's fine. Tim will go to 20. Gideon falls to 2. And then he just passed the turn back. So he's actually going to give him a turn with Gideon, unless his plan is to upkeep Anguish Unmaking. It's not. Interesting. Okay, so Gideon gets to stick around a turn here. I'm not sure how relevant that's going to be. Again, Tim does still have access to that Unmaking. Gideon is not indestructible, or he's not targetable or anything. He's not untargetable is what I mean to say here. So Liliana ticked up, I believe, on, my guess is the Scrounger. He's going to send both of these cards at Liliana. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Tim can only answer one of these creatures. He can't kill Gideon and block. He doesn't have the mana available for it anymore. Looks like he's lining up to unmake the Gideon. And he does. So he falls to 17 in the process. I'm a little curious why Cody didn't swing with his Knight token, because it looks like the Scrounger was on 1. 1 power. So a little curious that he didn't swing at that Knight. I mean, yes, the vent could have blocked it, but realistically that doesn't matter because he can't kill Gideon still then. Tim's going to play Oath of Liliana. I'm not sure how much I like this in this matchup because, again, Scrounger is just going to come back anyways. But there's a copy of Tim's own Gideon Ally Zendikar. And this will also allow him to make a 2/2 zombie at end of turn because he has cast he's had a Planeswalker come into play this turn with Oath. Situated Tundra 0. Thank you for following the channel, man. We appreciate that. We will send you a 10% off discount code to top8gaming.com. Welcome to the channel. Thank you very much, sir. Second copy of Scrap Heap Scrounger after he recurred the first one at the end of Tim's turn, of course. So, putting up an okay offensive front here, but Tim is in a very good spot again. These two Planeswalkers are poised to just close this game out on Cody, and Cody doesn't have much he can do about that. He is going to attack with the one Scrounger. Tim's just going to block it with a token, though, and say, sure. These trade off. Draws his one copy of Westvale Abbey. Not bad right now. Makes another Knight token. Liliana will shrink the Knight down again on Cody's side of the field. Tim will fire up Shelly Vents and attack for 2, bring Cody to 10 and himself to 19. Scrounger comes back again. It's a recursive threat, but it just doesn't matter against these tokens. Toolcraft Exemplar, sure. Not a big deal. Okay, end of turn. Tim's going to pay a life and make a 1/1 black-white human cleric token. Thanks to that Westvale Abbey. Four mana, what do you have, Tim? Kalidas, Trader Aget. Seems like a good one. Liliana ticks up, going to kill off the Toolcraft, which will get exile of note. And Tim will get another copy of a zombie here. As Kalidas' ability will exile that, so... and it looks like actually that's going to be it for Cody.